Hey, this is Tony with a Y, the simple guy, coming to you with S.S.P, Simple Success Principles. Simple Success Principles. Can you say that 3 times real fast? S.S.P, Simple Success Principle for reading. I know I've been away from you for a while, but I'm back on track. What we're going to do is we're just going to get right into this reading, and then I'm going to talk about some things on the backside. I have some things that I'm working on that are going to be free downloads that after the end of this book, I'm going to be putting up as a link that you can get that for free. How hot is that? Is that hot? Yes, that is hot. Yep. Ink pen, as I once said. Let me look over here. Highlighter. Water. You know, I got things all over the place here, so I'm just reaching. Glasses. If you need glasses, glasses. So I'm going to just set these over here. Open up this book. Oh, yeah. Colorful cards. Yay! Colorful cards. Yay for the colorful cards. So, you know, we're just going to move right along and we're just going to power through this. Let me get my glasses on so we can get these episodes one and done. Hallelujah. Chapter 22. We're powering right along. A morning at the beach. It was still pitch black when the phone rang. I rolled over and fumbled the receiver, pulling it to my ear. Yes, I managed. Good morning, a voice said cheerfully. This is your 5 o'clock wake-up call. Wake-up call? It took me several seconds to remember where I was, but then it all hit me. It was Saturday morning, and I was in a suite at the inn at Spanish Bay, set among groves of tall Montgomery pines overlooking the Pacific Ocean. I was about to play Pebble Beach. I scrambled out of bed, showered, and dressed, then headed down to the lobby. It was amazing how much energy one could have when one was about to play golf. Eric strolled in shortly afterwards, and we made our way to the elegant restaurant and ordered breakfast. Sleep well? Eric asked, digging into his eggs Benedict. Yes, great, I responded. Good. I don't want there to be any excuse for why I kicked your behind on the course this morning. Oh, so that's how it's going to be, huh? Care to place a little wager? I responded. With what? You have no money, remember? He had me there, but we could play for something else, he said with an air of intrigue. Like what? Oh, let's say how low man gets to sit in the audience this afternoon and high man gives the presentation. I looked at him and realized that I couldn't tell if he was serious or not. I thought you love to speak to large groups. Where did you get that? The jacket cover to your book, I responded. Well, don't believe anything you read, he said with a laugh. The truth is, I'm scared to death on a stage. Every time I'm introduced, I ask myself why on earth I accepted this engagement. Sometimes I feel like my heart is going to literally pound right out of my chest. Why do you do it then? Remember, the comfort zone is never static. It's either expanding or shrinking, I finished. Let me read that again. The comfort zone is never static. It's either expanding or shrinking, I finished. Exactly, he said. I know the day I started giving in to my fears in one area of my life, it will only be a matter of time before it becomes easier to avoid other challenges as well. We met Kurt and Cheryl at the first tee, where I was introduced as Edward, Eric's twin brother, as we decided over dinner the night before. It's nice to meet you, Edward, said Cheryl. Cheryl said, offering her hand. Edward is thinking of going into sales, Eric told the pair. So I was hoping the two of you don't mind if he picks your brain a little as you play. No problem, Kurt replied as we shook hands as well. We do nothing but talk shop anyway. I was given the honors of teeing off first and felt pretty good with my straight, if not overly long drive. It soon became clear, however, that I wasn't going to be low man today, as Kurt, Eric, and Cheryl each outdrove me by 20 yards. Eric rode in the cart with Cheryl and I with Kurt. So you're thinking about going into sales, huh? Kurt asked. Yep. Any tips you can share would be helpful. What kind of things do you want to know? Well, what I really want is to take you on the impact of my brother's concepts have had on you, and if you recommend them. By concepts, I mean the idea of going for no rather than yes, increasing your failure quotient, that kind of stuff. Yeah, it does seem kind of weird at first, doesn't it? Yes, it does. I know it worked for him. I've seen his house. But does it work for the average person? Not for very long, Kurt said. This was not an answer I expected, but soon Kurt's true meaning came clear, because within a short period of time, anyone who adopts his strategy stops being average, he continued. When I first started working for your brother, I suffered from a bad case of Pike syndrome. Have you ever heard of the Pike syndrome? I don't think so. A group of scientists in an aquarium in Canada did an experiment where they placed a large pike and some small minnows in a glass tank and separated them with the glass partition. The scientists watched this hungry pike repeatedly batter its nose against the invisible glass barrier for hours until the pike finally gave up. Then the scientists removed the glass partition, and what do you think happened? Bye-bye minnows. Nope. Pike stayed on his side of the tank, swimming in circles with lunch just inches away, restrained by only an imagined barrier. The pike had conditioned itself through hours of nose bumping to stay within its own self-imposed limitations. Most people are no different from Pike, he continued. They have bad experiences, bang their nose a few times and learn how to quit. Then they find themselves in a new situation where there are no real barriers, where they can eat all the minnows they want. But do they? No. They restrain themselves within their own imaginary walls. When I started work for CopyQuest, that was me. But your brother changed the way I think, sell, and live. I owe him a debt of gratitude because he taught you how to succeed. No, because he taught me to enjoy bumping my nose. Okay, that was kind of lengthy. I should have broke it up into 2 parts, but I didn't. But it's okay. We powered through it and we got through it. And sometimes chapters are going to be long, and sometimes chapters are going to be short. The key is to stay disciplined and move through these chapters as you continue to power through to your end game. And you have to say, well, what is your end game? Your end game is finishing the book. Now, there was one part in here that I highlighted, and it says, the comfort zone is never static. It's either expanding or shrinking. And one of the things that we happen to have working in our lives is sometimes we get caught up in the comfort zone where we're not expanding. We're not expanding our reading. We're not expanding our learning. We're not expanding growing. We're not expanding our skills. So it's not static. If we're not expanding, we're shrinking. And so we don't want to shrink. We want to constantly be growing. We want to always be in a state of growing. And that's why TonY with a Y, the Simple Guy, is doing this reading of this book right here. And we are almost done with this book. As you can see, we're almost to the back of this book. We got a couple more pages to go, and we will be finished with this book. Like I said, at the end of the reading of this book, what I'm working on is I'm doing some free downloads. And these free downloads are going to be very powerful. It's going to help you on your quest, on your journey to becoming the reader that you desire to be. And so with that, I'm going to end this episode, and I'm going to say this is TonY with a Y, the Simple Guy, saying, dream big, because you will never be bigger than your dreams. Talk with you later. Have a great day.